not right. We want answers. We want answers as to why we as Irish people have to take in thousands upon thousands of Muslims, Africans, Ukrainians, Polish. Why do we have to do it, Baraka? We've done our bit. The place is swamped. We don't want any more. And I'll be the fall guy to say it. We don't want any more.
I mean, you don't have to be really, really good at maths to make these numbers make sense. If over people are coming in, over people are leaving, that means you guys are basically being replaced, giving you no choice but to leave.
But we're not going to sit back, Baraka, because it's wrong. And I've spoken to African people that I know that's over here, and they said it. They know. They're awake like ourselves, and they know what's going on. They know that the African communities are being used. They want to take God out of your constitution because Christianity is the foundation of everything, Baraka. You can't even pray, but you have, and they can take their mat out and pray anywhere, and no, one God will say nothing to them.
It's not like they're removing God away. They're replacing it with something else. And I think you know what that really is. And I think let's get into it. I make a lot of video about Ireland, and the channel, the second country, highest country that watches us is from Ireland. Ireland.
And I've been watching you for a few months now, Baraka, and I just have to say you're doing a fantastic job, and keep up the great work, because there's a lot of young people that be watching you, Baraka, and they need somebody like yourself that's going to be speaking about what's going on in the UK, just all around in Europe and in Africa as well. The stuff that's not being spoken about, and the people need to know, and I'm going to tell them that.
That's it. And I think because I've been saying what's going on in Ireland from where I am, from the far. So it's important to bring someone who's in that place, seeing the things, to tell us how it is. And I think it's important to have you here. So it's going to be a blessed one. So let's get into it.
Okay, Baraka, go ahead for the boss.
So first one, I want to go through. I want to read you this article here. This article was published in last year, and it's about migration. I want to read you the numbers. Then I want to get your reaction from it.
Okay, go ahead.
So the last 12 months, the population of Ireland has rose to about over 100,000 people have came in. Since this was the highest in the last 12 months since 2008. Now, the number that's very, very scary, is scaring me, and I think it should be scaring everybody else, is that so over 100 people came in, but 69,000 people left the country.
That's the natives, Baraka, yeah?
Could you tell me why you guys are leaving the country and more people are coming in who are not from there?
Because the young people of Ireland, Baraka, they feel like there's no hope in Ireland at the moment. The prices of the houses are just astronomical. The people are working all day, all night, and they still just can't get ahead. And then you have the government, the Irish government, getting on the TV, and they're telling the Irish people that they have a duty of care, okay, for the likes of the Ukrainians and everybody else that's coming in, okay?
Yeah.
But the duty of care is gone amiss to the natives, us Indigenous Irish. So while they're having the duty of care, building towns, literally there's towns being built here in Ireland, Baraka, at the moment, with the best of homes for these Ukrainians, okay? Apparently, shooting up all over Dublin. Now, I'm going to speak about Dublin, Baraka, because that's where I'm from. But I know what's going on in different counties all across Ireland as well. So you've got these towns and apartments being built for basically foreigners. But yet the Indigenous Irish are left marginalised. You know, they're in their mother and father's homes, and they could be stuck in, you know, council estates with the houses could be just like 3-bedroom. And you've got literally 3 generations of Irish people in the one home. And the duty of care as a Taoiseach, which is the equivalent of the Prime Minister, is telling us the duty of care is to foreigners. And we're basically told, Baraka, in so many words, to put up and shut up. Because they hear the cries of the Irish people. They can see protests being gathered. They hear the people's, cries for the answers as to what's going on in Éire. Éire is the Irish for Ireland.
Right.
And they're not giving us the answers, Baraka. It's very evil.
It is because I mean, you don't have to be really, really good at maths. You don't have to make these numbers make sense. If over 100 people are coming in and 69 people are leaving, that means you guys are basically being replaced, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Forcibly giving you no choice but to leave.
Yes, absolutely, Baraka. And you have all these protests. There was only one the other day in the Dublin city centre for the Palestinian cause. Okay, now you know all about that, Baraka, because it's going on in the UK all the time.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah. So while they're all out screaming for the Palestinians, and the Palestinians are being colonised and they're being ethnically replaced.
Yeah.
While they're screaming that, you're just after reading out the figures, Baraka, there. Okay, and those Irish are being massively replaced, and when the government, as my father used to always say, Baraka, when the government releases figures, you can double that, because the figures don't always be the truth. Because if they were to tell the truth, Baraka, as to how many is actually coming into Ireland, I think people would be literally probably running into walls with the the fright as to how many people are really coming in. I don't even think they know how many is actually coming in, because
is anybody even counting?
Sorry?
Do they even count these numbers, or do they just let
them in?
I don't think
Baraka, because where I'm from in Dublin, it's like the last 20 odd years in this area, it's like a dumping ground. You can just see it week by week, month by month. You can always see when you go to the local shopping centre, you can see the fresh newbies that are only after being dropped into the country. Do you understand me?
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, Baraka, we're only a small minority of people, us natives. There's only about 5 million of us.
Yeah, right? I know it's a small little country. I mean, if you what?
Country, Baraka, and we've always for hundreds of years, we've always been fighting for this island. We've always been fighting to be heard, to be recognised as a people, to run our own country, and we got that just only 100 years ago, Baraka. It's not that long ago.
And not even over 100 years ago. I mean, you guys were fighting the British for a very long time, and you guys have lost a lot of people. I mean, when I read the Irish history, it's like, it's brutal, it's hard. And now your government is doing that on you guys. There's no break.
Yeah, there's no Baraka, and like there's nobody in the Irish government that's actually standing up and actually telling us what's going on. They get up and they do the same rhetoric, and it's the same in the UK. I look at Keir Starmer all the time. He's another one.
Yeah, he's
decimating the UK. And they're all reading from the same script, Baraka. Let's get real here. There's a wicked agenda, and the number one in this wicked agenda is Christianity. They want to abolish Christianity altogether. For instance, Baraka, look at what happened to them poor Christians in Congo. There was over 70 Christians in Congo absolutely butchered and slaughtered. And
near the church as well.
Yeah, in a church, Baraka. It makes me sick. It makes me physically sick thinking about the terror what them poor people went through. And I have not seen one outlet in the Irish media talking about that. But yet we are absolutely plagued. And I have to use these words about the Palestinian conflict, which I have cried many's a night praying for those poor children. And it's horrible. On both sides, it's horrible. But what I'm saying is, I'm just making an example of what happening to the poor Christians in Congo. Nobody's talking about it. Why is that?
Nobody reported it.
Nobody's talking about the Christians who are being butchered in Armenia by Dagestan and the Turkish. Yeah, nobody's speaking about it. So anytime it's something to do with Christianity, it's dead silence. It's like we don't matter. And there's something behind that, Baraka. You know?
I mean, to be fair, it's getting even worse. Because your government, as we speak right now, they've passed a bill. They've proposed a bill to remove God and man. Do you know about that?
Yeah, I do. I only before I got banned off of TikTok there on Saturday, I was actually making a video and I was getting ready to post it, and then I got the big ban.
TikTok don't play. They removed me multiple times too.
Yeah. You see, the truth is like acid to these demons, you know what I mean? All glory to God. The truth will prevail.
It will. But they are trying to remove this. They're trying to remove God. They propose this bill. They're trying to remove God and man from the judicial oath of the office. Is it because they're scared of God and they feel guilty every time when they swear an oath and they lie to their own people? They know they're going to lie. And now they just want to remove that.
Yeah, I think what it is, Baraka, and just back to me points there, what I was saying about the poor Congolese people and what's going on in Armenia and certain parts of India and Ukraine. The Christians are being slaughtered over there as well by Zelensky's crowd, going into churches, closing them down and bully-ragging the Christians in Ukraine. Funny how they never get a look in Baraka. But so what I'm saying is, they want to take God out of their constitution because Christianity is the foundation of everything, Baraka. It's the core value that gets people to build societies, do the right thing under the eyes of our Lord and Saviour Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you have to face something, right?
Understand me? So once they take God out of the Irish constitution, who are the Irish people going to be under, Baraka? Because
exactly.
there's only God and Satan. Do you understand me? It's good versus evil. So if they take your Lord out of your constitution, are we under Satan then, Baraka?
I mean, you have to praise them now. You have to hope that they have the best interest in you.
They don't,
and which obviously they don't.
No, they don't. And you have Keir Starmer wishing, happy Eid to the Muslim community.
We're gonna get into that because there's crazy numbers that nobody reports from Ireland about the growth of Muslim, which we're gonna get to. We got them here, but sticking on the migration side, you guys in Ireland there's around 15,000 homelessness. That's been growing by 11% each year, 11% every single year. But somehow you guys managed to rank up over 500 million to send to Ukraine.
Yeah,
it's amazing, isn't it? And let me even quote what you guys say about Ukraine. Let's even quote this. It's from the Irish government itself. It says, "Our support for Ukraine is unwavering. Ireland will continue to stand with the people of Ukraine as long as it's necessary." While you guys have 15,000 of young people. 4,000 of them are children, homeless, and that's growing by 11% each year.
Yeah,
you don't have money for that, but you have money to bring to Ukraine, over 500 million euros to Ukraine. How does that make sense?
Because it's a two-tier system. The natives are being told to scoot along to the corner. You just stay over there now, paddies. You Irish paddies, you stay over in the corner, and we're going to sort now the mad dystopia that we want for Ireland now. And that's what's going on. I mean, 15,000 people. I know what it's like, Baraka. I was in the homelessness 8 years ago with my 3 young kids. And I seen firsthand what was going on, where they had immigrants in this hostel. And they were going out within 2 or 3 weeks. And the natives were left there for months on end. And that's a fact. I seen that with my eyes. And because I fought, I was able to get out of that situation after 6.5 months. But my mental health bracket was on the floor. But only by the grace of God that I had that fire in my belly to, ask the questions and to basically just speak up and say, what's the story here, and just hound them every day to get out of that situation that I was in. But I've seen about in 2 or 3 weeks, we're getting hounded.
Right. So you've went through that yourself.
Yeah.
Could you tell me how it's like, and why is there not many like you speak up the way you do?
Because, Barack, number one, people are afraid of the communist word, racist. Yeah?
Right.
What's happening is, Baraka, God has been taken out of Ireland a good while now. People, I find, have lost their way. And, people are shocked when they do meet me, and I can speak about Jesus with a proudness that is unbelievable because I love him so much.
Right.
Yeah. So that has been, I feel like the Irish people have lost their way where they just become godless and then started becoming just acceptable. Do you understand me? So
why do you think that is? Do you think it's because the government slowly don't mention the word of God anymore, or do you think the church don't ignite that same excitement that used to be before? Because I'm a Christian, right? I was born a Christian. I chose to be a Christian, and there's a Bible right there behind me, and me and the Bible, we spend enough time together. So when I was young, we went to school Monday till Saturday. So Saturday was also a study day as well. So there was no any messing around. And Sunday was the day where you have to bring out the best clothes that you ever have in your wardrobe and put it on because you're going to church.
Yeah.
And we did that even till today. We're doing that. Sunday, if you miss church on Sunday, like Mother's Day yesterday, you miss church, you're like, it's like a guilt, but it's something because you feel like you've missed something very important in your life.
Yeah.
But today's people, the way people are growing up now, there's not that excitement to put in the best clothes that you have to get your Bible and go to church. Yeah. How was that? Was that removed by families because people started getting too busy and going to work and even Sunday working, or was it the government that slowly removed that way? I don't know how they did it, but could you tell me what you know about this?
I think, Baraka,
what you think?
When all the scandal came out about the Catholic Church here in Ireland, about the abuse, I think that left a very bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, yeah?
Right.
With the sexual abuse scandals with a few of the priests. And rightly so, because it was an absolute abomination what was going on. But as I keep saying to people, that was nothing to do with Jesus. Yeah. Jesus wasn't involved in them horrific acts. But what happened was, Baraka, when them scandals started to come out, after the last couple of decades, people just started distancing themselves from the church because they were putting the church as a connection with God, what the priest's done. Do you understand me?
Right.
So I think slowly but surely that kind of started to basically make a lot of the Irish people godless. They just weren't turned to God. They were turned to everything but God, And like at the end of the day, like I can understand because, I wasn't always strong on my faith, but you have to open your mind, and when you start seeing a lot of that's going on, you do have to question it, and it will bring it back to God, because everything is centered. Everything what the governments and every single country are doing is all to break God's law. Everything is evolved around dismantling God in people's hearts, their minds. They want the people and the youth to turn to everything but Him. They want the youth to turn to drugs, to promiscuous sex, drinking, rather than getting on their knees and praying to the Lord for the answers. Because He is the only way, Baraka. He's the only way out of all of this madness, And once a country is strong in their Christianity, the country is unbreakable. But that's why the Irish government are doing what they're doing, because they know that there's something missing here in Ireland. and that's the people's faith. And so that's why I urge the Irish people to get back to their faith, get back to God, because you know, these are very, very evil times. What's going on, and with the
Yeah.
repentance of the Irish people, you know, this is evil. It's pure and utter evil. And when you go into a classroom in the area that I'm from, you've got 4 native Irish children, and the rest will be foreign. That's not the natural order, Baraka. I'm going to say how it is. That is not the natural order. Because if I go to China, I'm going to go to a classroom in China, I'm going to see majority, if not most of the kids are going to be Chinese.
Yeah,
But,
for sure.
but we've got to accept this, Baraka, because if we don't accept this, we're racist. But it's nothing about being racist, because if anybody knows about racism, it's the native Irish people. For 800 years, what's after been going on with our people? Being starved to death on purpose through the famine. It was a planned bracket, okay?
Yeah, that was horrible.
And there was 2 famines bracket which never get spoken about. All the Irish children are being taught about is a potato that went rotten. They're not talking about the plunder, the rape, the murders, the terrorisation that went on in this tiny little island. And
Yeah, the killing of that,
years.
and the killing of, I think, those 14 children, I think, that happened, the Great Britain was a part of, and they tried to cover it up and stuff. The
There's so much
protests.
bracket that's not being told. So
Yeah,
much,
there's a lot. There's a lot, and you can tell that island has always been rooted, was always rooted into this Christianity faith, and it was always close to it. And
Yeah.
given how small you guys are, there's no way you guys would have been in any other country with physical thing apart from faith, and you guys had that, and with the faith of Lord helped you guys come out those miserable years that you guys went through. But today you guys are removing that, and now you're getting back into that same situation that you guys found yourself in. And now it's more of like where your own people are doing that to everybody else.
It's an agenda, Baraka.
It's a sad one.
It's an agenda, and you've got the Irish government wishing the Muslim community, just like Keir Starmer did, a happy Eid. But we're still in the month of Lent. I'm still doing my Lent here, and there has been absolutely nothing. So there's an agenda going on, and
there is
the Christianity, and they're never going to do it. They are never going to get rid of the Lord, because guess what?
What?
The Alpha and the Omega. How can you get rid of the Creator? You're not going to do it. You know, that's what I keep saying to them. You know, when I'm doing my videos, they're serpents, Baraka. You know?
Right.
Why we've got to become stronger, as humans, and get back to God. Because as I said, once you have that armor of God on you, nothing is going to penetrate through it. Nothing. You know?
Yeah. It's like talking to my mom right now. I mean,
hallelujah.
When I speak to my mom, she's.
Are you trying to say I'm old, Baraka?
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, like, because my mom is a church minister, yeah. And my dad used to be a pastor, but not anymore. The work stuff. Living in the UK, you always have to be basically working to make sure people eat. But so my mom is like kept it going till today. So when you talk about her, any problem at all, it's not like she's gonna tell you to go to the GP or call your doctor or whatever. The first thing is God, and that's what really you love about it, because it's the best way you can fix something without bringing any external factors in it, like medicine and this, because it's within yourself.
That's right, Baraka.
And I think it's the best medicine. I think if a lot of Irish people just get close to God, they'll probably be awakened to go and do the miracle that God will send them to do, which is waking up their government and making a change.
That's right. But you know, it's funny, Baraka, right? Because through all of this evil that's being perpetrated onto us Irish people, and the replacement, how it's going at such a astronomical rate with the replacement of the Irish people, I do find that it is awakening a lot of people up now, because it's crazy. It's kind of like a bittersweet type of thing, if you get me what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The governments think they're kind of slick and they're smart in what they're doing, but at the same time, they are starting to awaken people up, and
Yeah.
are starting getting back to God. Because I've spoken to a lot of people that have been in touch before my page got banned, Baraka. I must say, I was getting an awful lot of messages, and they were so many people are saying about, they're getting back to their faith, and they want to go back to mass, and that's what it is. He's the foundation of everything, Baraka. The
Yeah.
foundation of absolutely everything.
Yeah, and I think the Irish people need to wake up really quick. I mean,
Really.
even Jesus had to be waking up. Hey, Jesus, perform your first miracle. They
That's
had
right.
to remind him. I think we need to remind the Irish people to go and perform the miracle, which is kicking all these agenda that they're trying to
Yeah.
bring into the country out. But it's not like they're removing God away. I think they're replacing it with something else. And I think you know what that really is. And I think let's get into it. Because when you look at Islam, right?
Yeah.
It's grown everywhere. Like it's grown. If somebody was to do a map vision of it, starting from Mecca or Medina, so in Middle East, and making it spread everywhere, I mean, you will see it is everywhere.
Yeah.
And somehow it's gaining the best seat in this world. Every single country enters, they get treated like.
Isn't it, Baraka, how it's the funny, Baraka, all the governments, as I said, are wishing to eat, but nothing to do with the Christians. Funny that, isn't it? There's no that we're all just conspiracy theorists,
Yeah, we all just talking crap, right? Because because today the first ever broadcast of Eid happened today in Europe. Was the first ever broadcast, and that was BBC broadcasting Eid today, national TV.
I didn't even know that, Baraka.
I mean,
surprised. I'm not surprised because, somebody sent me a picture there yesterday of the shopping the clothing shop Pennies. It's a clothing shop. I used to call it Primark. Sorry, in England it's called Primark.
Primark.
Sorry, Primark.
Yeah.
That's the Dublin accent. Primark. Yeah. So they have like pajamas with Happy Eid on it. Do you understand me? Like, we're all supposed to be inclusive and it's supposed to be diversity. But when it comes to Christianity, that can go into the bin where everybody else is welcome. They've got pajamas and Primark with Happy Eid on it, like.
What?
Yeah, that's a fact, Baraka, what I'm saying. And now I'm only after being.
I didn't even know that. That's huge.
Yeah. So I'll be knowing about Lent, knowing about coming up to Easter, like it's such a really holy month, like, and there's nothing. Sure, Baraka, they won't even put Happy Easter on the Easter eggs anymore.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've seen a lot of video of people trying to go to Tesco, Asda, all these shops trying to find an Easter with an egg that has the branding Happy Easter on it, and there's nothing. There's just random egg.
There's none,
they are slowly shifting the way people. So they are preparing the public for what they want to happen in the future. So they are trying to slowly bring in this agenda, slowly introducing it. So then in the next 5 years' time, people won't question it because it will be normal to have eggs with no Easter. And maybe it will be normal to not even have eggs at all.
That's
right. Or maybe it will be normal to remove Bibles. I mean, nowadays, they got this in Glasgow. They passed this thing where you can't pray 200 yards away from a hospital.
I've seen that, Baraka, yeah.
I mean, why?
But Baraka, I do feel that it's partly the people's fault because they're accepting it. And that's what I admire about the Muslim community, because they're staunch. They stick to everything that they believe in. Do you understand me, Baraka?
Yeah.
The Christians, or if you're a non-Christian, just the natives of that country, they're too flaky. They just accept anything. And then when they get to a point where it's like literally sitting on their faces, then they're getting up saying, oh, what happened? I tell you what happened. you've set back and you've taken that instead of saying, no, we're not going to do this. We're not going to accept this. This is communism.
Yeah.
You can't even pray. But you have Muslims and they can take their mat out and pray anywhere.
Yeah, anywhere. They stop the traffic.
We'll say nothing to them. Nothing.
Yeah. And I think partly why people are scared is because, I mean, you get arrested now.
Yeah.
2 years, 3 years in jail, you lose your job, you lose whatever you was trying to do for your life. I mean, and a lot of people see, because a guy was interrogated by the police for 12 hours because he said something on a private WhatsApp group.
I've seen that, Baraka. I've seen that. And Baraka, did you see also as well, they're going to be doing, like, literally the British government are actually after coming out now and saying that there will be a two-tier in the sense where they are going to give lenient sentences to minorities and trans people, and basically the white man will be getting hammered. So if a white man or if an Indian man commit the same sort of crime, the Indian man will get a lesser sentence and the white man will get the full whack. I mean, that is just blatant racism against the white community.
Yeah, I think what they're doing, they are preparing the masses. They are because they know here in the UK, 83%, 81 and 83% of the population here is white breaks, right? So they are preparing them to be quiet and not resist because they know what they will get. And if they're preparing the masses like that, so when they transition to whatever they're trying to bring in, they won't have that much resistance because everybody's already scared of the system.
That's right, Baraka. It's all part of the programming of the demoralization. And you see, that word, Baraka, is very important because when you're demoralized, you know, year after year after year, it's like what's going on now, Baraka, at the moment in England and in Ireland. It's like if the native people are in a serious abusive relationship with the government. The government just constantly pushes and pushes and pushes and pushes to see how far they can take their narcissistic abusive behaviour, because that's what they are. When you think about the UK government and the Irish government are like nut jobs of narcissists. They just keep pushing the people, and they're going to push the people too far. And then when the people do break, then they already have these laws implemented to lock the people up. You see what happened with the riots there when the 3 kids got stabbed. They were locking people up for setting a bin on fire for 5 years.
Yeah, locking people up for shouting at the dog. It's like...
No. And you know, Baraka, there was an incident in Ireland here, a very, very serious incident, where 2 gay men down in the county of Sligo, they were beheaded by a Muslim man. He got in touch with them. Whatever what happened, he met up with these two Irish men, and he beheaded these 2 men. Okay?
When was this?
Sorry, Baraka?
When was this?
This was about 2 years ago. Okay? Now, this is a serious, a beheading in Ireland, unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. But this Muslim man done this to these 2 gay men. I did not hear the LGBTQ community coming out and screaming from the top of the lungs about it. The place wasn't shut down. There was absolutely nothing. And I got told by a very good source of mine that lived in this area where these 2 men were murdered. And he said within a week, they organised an anti-racist little kind of get-together and an LGBT kind of party after these 2 men getting butchered by this Muslim fella. Nothing.
Yeah.
We don't know what happened to the Muslim fella. We don't know how long he got. Like, it's crickets.
Attention, attention, attention. This is not just a normal t-shirt. This is your battle armor in this war against lies and manipulation and deception. And when you wear this t-shirt, you are not just making a statement. You are drawing a line in the sand. And you're saying, I will not be silenced, I will not be bought, and I will not be steered. Every thread in this t-shirt
Every thread in this t-shirt screams defiance. Every letter of I fund the truth, not propaganda. Or maybe every letter of the nation needs to know is a rally cry out for independent thinkers, disruptors, the people who refuse to bend to the mainstream media narrative. We need your fund, and this is your chance to stand up, to speak out and fund the fight for the truth. Don't just wear it like a regular t-shirt. You have to live it. The nation needs to know you're gonna live it. Yes, please. I need you to fuel the resistance. Be the reason why the truth survive in this country. Please get yours at thebarakashow.com. And thank you so much for keeping us on air. Thank you.
In the shadow of the digital gulag, we fire up the truth cannon and blast through the lies.
And the show host, Baraka Amuri.
So you can see that system here now, Baraka, what's happening now.
They're giving them a free ride, because when you look at the numbers... Sorry, I got a cold, so I keep sniffing. So when you look at these numbers about Islam, the growth of Islam in Ireland, I mean, in 1990s, there was only 3,000 Muslims in Ireland, which is like a small number, like very small. You probably didn't even see a mosque, right? Yeah. But today, there's over 1,000 something Muslims. That's practiced Muslims. Obviously, some are just walking around and just causing problems. And these are like the real Muslims. There's only 83%. That's in 2022. So that's probably gone over 100k now. And in Dublin yourself, I think you're in Dublin right now, right?
Yeah.
There's over 30k Muslims. I mean, back in the days, there was less than 100 in Dublin in 1990. I mean, that growth is really, really high. What do you think is driving that to go up?
Because that's the ethnic people that they're letting into the country. That's who the government wants to replace the Irish people with. I have to just say how it is. And while the Irish women are having less children, these people are coming in and they're having 5 and 6 children, which is no problem with that, Baraka.
No problem. Yeah.
No problem, because the good Lord said, be fruitful and multiply. So I have no issues with that.
Yeah.
But the issues start coming in when the native population are not having the children, the same rate as the migrant population. And us Irish were always known to be having big families. And only up to 30 years ago, people were still having large families. And now it's like looked down upon. I have 5 children, Baraka. And
that is sick. Congrats.
Yeah. And when I tell people, like, I know you don't mean anybody, any harm when you were saying, oh, that's sick, Maggie, but like people are like shocked, as if it's like, what? You've got 5 kids? As if like I have 5 dirty socks or something, like they're like, what? But they don't look at that as a problem when they see, an African woman or a Muslim woman, but it's kind of like a downgrade with women. You understand me, Baraka, what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. I think it's because they've told you guys to only have a dog and a cat and some other dildos in your wardrobe. That's it. Having kids now is a big problem.
To go, sorry, Baraka, for cutting you short here. Or better still, abort your baby. Yeah?
Abort your baby. Or maybe if you do have a baby, have a trans kid. I think that's like the medal of being a white woman today.
In the marches and be so progressive, But, they don't want Irish women having big families, Baraka. They don't want them. They want the woman to be focused on the career, to be completely godless, and as you said, a few cats at home, yeah? And then by the time she's 40, she'd be suffering with severe mental illness, That's the be all of the end all of what's going on. But Baraka, I was only looking at a video there of a place in Ireland called Letterkenny. Now, like, this place would be the quintessential, countryside of Ireland. There is a massive Muslim population that I was even shocked to learn about, because in Dublin, Baraka, we've been getting the migration dumped on us for the last 30 years, because it's only 30 years this is going on, Baraka. We're still trying to comprehend what's actually happening in our country. England is a good 50 years, ahead of us.
You guys are tiny. You guys are so small. I mean, you can't expand.
Yeah. So in Dublin, we got it forced. Now the countryside of Ireland is getting it. And you've got little towns across Ireland that are just a quintessential countryside, and they are importing massive numbers of Muslims into these towns. Now, I'm sorry, Baraka, it's not the natural order, okay? Because they're importing these people in that have total different ways of life. Just their faith alone is completely different to ours, okay? And that's the truth of the matter. And they're going into these towns, and the people are asleep at night, and in the dead of night, they're bringing these people in on bus loads, and then the people are waking up the next morning, and all they see is massive amounts of Muslim men loitering around all in their little towns. That's not fair. It's not right. We want answers. We want answers as to why we as Irish people have to take in thousands upon thousands of Muslims, Africans, Ukrainians, Polish. Why do we have to do it, Baraka? We've done our bit. The place is swamped. We don't want any more. And I'll be the fall guy to say it. We don't want any more.
I mean, you can't have any more. Even if you did want, you can't have any more. Especially if you guys are going in this climate change route. If you think climate change is the biggest threat, then why are you putting so many people in one place where you're going to have to start cutting trees down because you need to build more houses? There'll be no space. How do you think you're going to achieve your climate change thing? So even if you wanted more people in Ireland, you can't have them. There's no space.
Exactly. We're only a tiny island off the Atlantic coast, you know what I mean, Baraka? And see, the climate change is real when it's in the government agenda. But just as you said there perfectly, the climate change doesn't come into a Baraka with the infrastructure that has to go on, the extra schools, the hospitals, that doesn't come into play.
Yeah.
So if it's to do with us one just to go out to the beach and drink out of a plastic bottle, it's going to be a problem then. The climate change is going to hit the turtles then, Baraka,
Yeah.
The whole thing is a farcical, it's a joke. And you know what?
It's insane. It's insane how other people believe this as well. I mean, I don't believe it. I don't know if you do, but I don't.
Baraka, do you believe in Santa Claus, Baraka?
I've been waiting for long.
I
told him to bring a new camera for me, but I've been waiting still.
Yeah. Now, listen, Baraka, there's only one thing that we need to believe in, and that's the big man. That's all. The big man, that's all. That's what we have to get back to. And as I said, each country will become strong. And see, that's why they're trying to break the Christianity down and demoralize the people so much, is because they know once people have that faith, it's like an iron bar.
Yeah.
Nobody's getting near that.
Exactly. I want to play you a video.
Yeah.
Right. And this is about St. Patrick's Day. I believe it went really well. I believe it went really well. So let's play this video. I want to get your opinion on this video. So yeah, let's do it.
That's St. Patrick's Day, Baraka, isn't it? Yeah.
So that is St. Patrick's Day today. I mean, could you tell me about this new St. Patrick's Day? When I was in high school and they were telling us about St. Patrick's Day and we have to paint the thing and all green and stuff. I mean, they didn't say this is what it is like. Could you tell me about this new St. Patrick Day? Because I'm a bit curious how the rebranding.
Well, I'll tell you what it's about, Baraka. That's exactly what I just spoke about there a few moments ago. That's the part of demoralisation. What they're doing is now see the individuals that's in the parades, the Africans there. I don't know what part of Africa they're from.
Yeah.
There's no problem, Baraka, with the people, because they're actually being used as a pawn in this sick agenda. Yeah. So naturally enough, if an NGO that works for the Irish government goes to an area where, you know, there's a community centre and they'll say to the people, look, we'd like a few of the, you know, the Africans that are here to come into the parade. Naturally enough, the people are going to go. It's a celebration. Do you understand? Because they're being used, Baraka. But this is all part of the underhanded, snaky agenda, and they're putting this out to the minds of the Irish people that this is the new Ireland. You know, do you understand me? This is what you have to accept now. And the Irish people know this is wrong, Baraka. It should be about Irish culture, Irish heritage, and the migrants should be standing in the sidelines with the native Irish people enjoying the show. Then people have no affiliation, you know, to St. Patrick's Day. They just don't. And that goes across the board, Baraka, for all of them. That goes across the board for the Ukrainian community, the Lithuanian, Africans, the Muslim community. Just sit back and enjoy the show. But they're being used as a pawn. That's what's going on.
Yeah, how come there's not? I mean, I've seen some reaction of other people saying, "Oh, this is wrong because it's St. Patrick Day. We need to get the actual people who represent." I mean, you can't. Even if you was to get a British man in St. Patrick Day, they still not going to represent it properly than they would if it was a native man from Ireland. But
if you like, exactly, Baraka, if you like us now, right? Let's say me and you, and we went to the Chinese Year of the Dragon. One of their parades, okay?
Yeah, the dragon, Chinatown, something.
And me and you rock up to Chinatown, and we're like, Baraka, we're going to have a great time. We're going to see the parade with the Chinese people. And we go to this parade, Baraka, and it's full of Pakistani men. So, Baraka, you're going to look at me and you're going to say, Maggie, where are we? What's going on? You know?
Yeah, totally, yeah.
But as I said, this is part of the demoralisation, and this is all strategically planned and done by the government to have this implanted in the heads of all the Irish youth and the Irish people that this is the new era, the new Ireland, you know? And just sit back, and accept it. But we're not going to sit back, Baraka, because it's wrong. And I've spoken to African people that I know that's over here, and they said it. They know. They're awake like ourselves, and they know what's going on. They know that the African communities are being used, and whatever else communities were in that parade. They know. It's all part of the agenda.
Yeah, but he puts the sad thing about this is the way I see it is the man who was born in Ireland, like let's say a native Irish man, will always come last if they do this.
Always, Baraka.
And that is not fair as well.
No, Baraka, it's heartbreaking. And look, I'm going to tell you this now, Baraka. This is soul destroying what's going on. Leave out all the jokes aside. This soul destroying. When you come to Ireland, you see what's going on, and we're being replaced by Muslims, Africans. They're all part of the Eastern Bloc. It's not right, Baraka. It's soul destroying. I know people that are literally suicidal because they're so depressed and fearful.
I mean, that's why they're leaving as well, I think.
And of course, absolutely. That's why all the youth are leaving to Australia. But you know, Baraka, that has been happening for a good 20 odd years in Ireland. You know, the youth run. Instead of the government doing their duty of care for their youth and giving them the initiative to stay here, to do better, you know, work structure for the people. They want our people to go while they're bringing in basically half of Pakistan and India.
Yeah.
You know, they're bringing in thousands upon thousands of Indians. How many Indians do we need, Baraka, to fix our phones and our laptops? We don't need it. We don't need it. You know, it's not fair. It's not right. It's just too many. And we want answers. We want answers now as to why this is going on. And even now as I speak, Baraka, if we went out to Dublin Airport, it would absolutely be flooded with people coming in. And they're coming in with no passports. Nothing. So I want to know, Baraka, when these people come into our country, into the Dublin Airport, okay, who's there that's showing them to all these accommodation? Because they're not on the street. It's the Irish people that are on the street. So who is behind this, where these people come in and straight away, bam, they have an accommodation? It doesn't matter if all bunked in a house together. The fact is, Baraka, this accommodation is there, ready and waiting. But yeah, when I was in the homelessness, I was told out straight that I'd be waiting over a decade to be housed. Over a decade. What? And that's what's being told to the Irish people now. When they go to their local housing authority, they are being told that they will be waiting at least 12 to 15 years. That's the go-to number, Baraka, to be housed. That's the truth.
But they're building more houses though. Where they... Oh, so okay, makes sense now. So they're building not for you guys, but for
it's not for us. It's the plantation. When you see new builds going on, most Irish will say, the Irish won't get a sniff of them houses. You might get a new housing estate, Baraka. This is how it goes, okay? You'll get a new housing estate. So many will go to private sellers, and a massive chunk will go to the immigrants. And then you might have a few little houses sprinkled in this new scheme to the natives. But you can bet your bottom dollar the majority will be going to the migrants.
But I think, I mean, seeing what's happening now and see what reaction might bring out from the native, it won't be really good, because then you'll get some people who will just hate the government, want to set it on fire, or you get other people who will just hate the guy who's from Pakistan. I mean, yes, that guy came here illegally, but he didn't pay or buy to be in that place. Your government put him in that place. You get people hating each other, and that could start something evil.
Of course, yeah, of course.
Do you know what I'm saying, right?
I absolutely, of course, because it's causing so much discord. It's causing so much tension. The people feel demoralized. They feel forgotten about. And you know what it is, Baraka? It's the blatant abuse of power what the Irish government are implemented onto the Irish people. You know, they're doing it so blatantly now. They're not giving 0 Fs.
They're not even hiding anymore.
Not hiding it. And that's what's causing all the massive, tension. And as I said, Baraka, we've always had a serious suicide problem in Ireland. Yeah. Men have... It's been a massive problem in Ireland. And when that pandemic broke out, we had one of the longest lockdowns in Europe. And while our people were committing suicide, the church closed their doors, which that would have been a massive time for the people to go back to the church, because they were so confused. They were frightened as to what was going on and when was this ever going to end. And the church closed their doors. How dare they doing that? Them doors should be opened up 24/7 for people to go and seek the Lord, seek some solace. Yeah. While more people, Baraka, were committing suicide in the massive numbers, they were, in the dead of night, as I said, they were bringing in bus loads and plane loads of people into the country. That's where the people, are starting to feel angry and just straight up pissed off, because it's enough is enough now, Baraka. It's too much now.
Yeah, and I see the suicide rate in Ireland. Over 400 something men are killing themselves. I mean, out of the people who are dying, 80% of them are men, and 20 as women. I mean, And
Shocking.
then they're bringing in men to replace them instantly.
Absolutely, Baraka, and that's what's going on. And you know, Baraka, I do say to people all the time when I'm talking to them, all this men bashing that does be going on in social media, that's another form of the demoralization onto the man. To me, the man is the backbone of society. We need good men. It doesn't matter if they're African men, Irish men, English men, French men. We need good men to get back to their faith, to look after their households. And when the households are being looked after, society becomes better as a whole. And we need the men. And the men are going around lost. They're on Pornhub. They're drinking, doing drugs. They're not looking after their children. And this is all part of it, Baraka, because there's no faith.
Yeah, there's no faith as well. I think you make good point, because if Putin, because they consider Putin the biggest problem in Europe, Putin and climate change is like the biggest problem. They always want to talk about it. If they consider Putin the biggest problem, then why can't they get their men strong enough, competent enough to make sure if Putin is the biggest problem, when Putin comes, their men are ready? But no, they're not trying to do that.
The men are running into coffee shops having a skinny latte. That's what's going on. While the Russian men are over there doing what's, the right for their country with their faith and loving their country, the European men are running into Starbucks to get a skinny latte,
Yeah.
Because the men are all completely brainwashed. And then you have the women then, and they're getting brainwashed into thinking that being with a man is the wrong thing. It's the whole thing is just crazy, Baraka. It's just so evil. It's just so evil.
I actually want to stay on this topic, because we're gonna do the last one, which is Connor and Enoch situation, and I want to get into this because I want to transition into something really important to me. I hold it really close to my heart, and I think probably most of my videos are always directly into that. So let's speak on the men, then we'll go into the girl side, yeah. And specifically, as obviously you're a woman, right? Yeah. So yeah, don't put me in jail for assuming. I'm sorry if I'm assuming it wrong, right?
Are we allowed to say that we are a man and a woman? Are we allowed to say that?
Just in case, I get it wrong. All right, we don't want to get. It's been a big problem. So could you tell me more? Because obviously your lens different to mine. Because obviously I'm a man. I see it, the world totally different to the way you would see it.
Yeah.
What do you think is actually gone wrong compared to because back in the days, men used to be the people. When something happens, let's say somebody knocks, the lady will probably be on the phone still. The guy will react, ready to go and tackle it, ready to put it down, ready to check who's knocking. It could be a little wind, but they just want to seem like, nobody? Yeah, pussy, all right. I'm coming back up. Done. But now, today is more of like, if a man was trying to do something nice to the lady, or trying to protect or do anything, somehow that man is called toxic masculinity.
Yeah, I know. But you know what, Baraka?
How did we get here?
I think it's years of now the propaganda machine being steamrolled into the social media. And Baraka, how social media is so, it can be a massive stronghold on the youth when they're looking and scrolling, and all you see is toxic masculinity, putting down men, berating men, and telling girls, you're not a girl. You can be a little cat. You can be a little doggy, And so it's just years of the propaganda machine. And as I said before, and I'm going to keep saying it, it's demoralization. That's what's going on. That's what's going on. And now you have the men afraid to approach a woman because, if they get called a creep or they're sexually harassing the woman, when that's just a natural order, a man and woman coming together, getting to know each other. But then you also have the factor into it, the massive amount of porn sites where the men are going to porn rather than, as I said, turning to their fate and doing it the natural way, finding a woman, wanting to marry her and settle down. And the men are being also told, have as much sex as you want with all the women you can get, you know. So the men are being brainwashed to, you know, be highly promiscuous, and the women are being brainwashed into, you know, not wanting to be a man and, you know, to tap into her divine energy and of the feminine energy and all this crap.
Yeah, independent boss and all these things, yeah.
Well, when you think about it, a lot of the women that are independent bosses, Baraka, have serious mental health problems, and they have to see a shrink, yeah, to get through the day, because it's not the natural order what's going on. It's just not. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong for the woman to work. No, absolutely not. But the natural order is for man and woman to settle down, to get married, to have that family and build a healthy society. That's what the natural order is all about, Baraka. And we once did have that, but now it's completely gone.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone. I mean, I was talking to my mom on Saturday, I think actually Friday, and we were going through, like, I think similar to this conversation actually, and she was going about a man in a house, and a man can just sit at home and watch TV and just sit there. His kids will come from school and the kids will see him sitting there watching TV. And the kids will go next day to school and come back and sit there and watch TV. Then when the kids do something wrong, and when the man feels like the kid needs to be disciplined, somehow whatever he says to the kid doesn't connect and doesn't resonate, and the kid doesn't listen. It's because the kid doesn't see anything in you. You're sitting there watching TV. I mean, you're letting the school raise him. When you're doing nothing, the kid has no inspiration for, like, you know, you see when somebody asks a young boy and you're like, who's your friend? Who's your best friend? Most of them are like, my dad. We go to watch football together, blah, 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 blah. Oh, who's your hero? My dad. Because they seen him doing crazy stuff. And you can see the dad is probably a construction. But that's his hero because his dad wakes up every day, goes out, come back, dirty, full and dirty clothes. And somehow the kid is passionate. Is like, wow, dad went there and fixed that light within 2 seconds. That's my hero. But if a dad is sitting there with a remote, it's like, football, all right, play rugby, play this, all day long.
There's no structure there. All there is just, you know, and laziness is a sin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, laziness is a sin. They talk about it in the Bible. So, and so when you have a man that's supposed to be a father, like, you don't mind a man lying down and chilling out after working, you know, and being, you know, a good provider for his household. But if a man is not the backbone of the home, everything falls apart, Baraka. You know, everything. You know, this is why I keep saying, they keep saying that a woman doesn't need a man. Okay, yes, you can do things without a man, but it's going to be very hard. You know, when you're a single mother, it's the hardest job in the world because you've got to take it. You've got to be the mother and the father. And that comes with serious problems, psychological, mental health does be through the roof for the women because you have got to do everything. So it's important to get the men back in order. You know, it's important for the men, young men, to work out, not just for the physical form, but for the mental form, so they can be strong and they can be calm and they can go in and handle the situations that sometimes us women just can't because we're just too emotional. So we need a man to come in and to take stock of the situation in a calm and firm manner, you know?
Yeah. I totally agree with you. And now I want to transition that into the problem that I think Europe is seeing right now. I think the whole world is seeing right now is the crime against women. I mean, and obviously those crimes are committed by obviously men. And when you find who these men are literally the men we've just been talking about.
Of course, because they're bringing in people, Baraka, to societies where they're just polar opposite, okay? They're just polar opposite. And they're bringing in people that have different ways of going on. It's just night and day as to, the two societies. So you've got these men and, they are wanting to be with women, okay? And they just get off a bus. They're being put down to the countryside of Ireland. And these men are up to that with testosterone. And this is why these attacks start happening. Because the government are not thinking the way me and you are. They're not thinking about, okay, we're bringing in, hundreds of men and we're just going to stick them into the one spot. And what's going to happen with all these very, I'm just going to say it, Baraka, very horny men. And they're just sticking them into these towns and cities. And that's why the rapes are happening. And that's why the murders are happening. Because there's no proper structure. And it's not being planned out in the proper way. They're just being dumped in. Off you go. And then when they do commit the murder, the papers won't speak about it. They won't release the names of the men because it's always the usual culprit, But
Yeah,
now
they never released the name.
they never release
They
the names,
never.
but now they're saying in the UK government that they're going to have harsher sentences for white men. It's like a
Yeah,
never-ending nightmare. It's a
yeah.
nightmare.
So, is there in Ireland? Is there a report that has crime committed by nationalities? Like, is
They
there
won't.
such a
They won't
thing?
release it, Baraka. They won't release it. They
It'll
won't.
be interesting. It'll be really interesting to see because I'm curious to know because a lot of Irish media. I'm gonna say it out there. I think Ireland is a lefty country
Oh, it's
now.
complete. It's
Because when I was prepared, every time when I'm trying to prepare for the show about Irish stuff, every single media, almost every single one, is all promoting. Don't give the facts, and they just report lefty stuff, silly ideology, and
because
when
they're
you
all
look,
being run by the same machine, Baraka. It's the same machine behind everything. And if they look at this,
yeah,
interview,
we'll be fine, right? Me and you right now, though, bro.
they're going to say far right racist. And here I am as a white woman, and you're a black man, and we have none but respect for one another, and we're speaking the truth because
Yeah,
we have God on our side, Baraka. Do you understand? We have God on our side, and that's why you can speak the truth and I can speak the truth. But most of them are of the devil. You see, it's a spiritual battle, Baraka. We're in a massive spiritual battle, and it's good versus evil.
yeah. I'll probably say it's more than that. Let's just wrap up in this conversation, yeah. I'll probably say it's not just a spiritual, but I'll probably say it's more than that. Reason why is because they don't just attack you spiritually, they also attack you financially,
Oh yeah,
physically as
absolutely.
well.
Oh
Look
yeah,
at
yeah.
look at the story of Enoch.
Oh, Enoch Book. Yeah, what a man, what a
Man,
family. Persecuting.
oh man,
It's crazy. And it's pure communism, Baraka. Like, and see, the thing is, Baraka, a lot of people don't even know what communism is, You've got young kids screaming about they're socialists and they want to be, in the Communist Party. They don't understand how evil this communism is. That this man is after getting €40,000 taken out of his account that he worked his backside off of to save up.
and it's not just working that he does. He shapes the next generation
Yeah,
for good. I don't think being a teacher is one of the most important job in the world. Just like
yeah,
being a doctor and being one of these services that we need. Being a teacher is something that you always need in your life. You need a good teacher because if you have a wrong one, your life is
absolutely.
the next few years of the first few years of your life will be really, really bad if you have a bad teacher.
And that's what I'm saying about the spiritual side of it, Baraka, because there's good and evil in absolutely across the board, whether it's, teachers, doctors, somebody that's just sitting beside you on the bus, we're affected in every sort of aspect, to do with our spiritualness. If we run into a good teacher, as you said, that can give us off to a great start. But if you have a teacher that's like a little secret communist,
Yeah, yeah, and it's sad because the way socialist and communist is promoted, is never promoted by what they do. They promote it by discrediting what other people do, like capitalism or conservative value. They promote communism by discrediting conservative value. Like, don't stay at home. You're a big boss. Come out, have fun with us, cause you deserve it. It's like,
and if you're not home with your children, you're the loser. And if you clean your house, and God forbid, Baraka, if a woman cooks a dinner for her man, woo,
oh
you are
man,
you are the biggest loser under the sun. But here,
yeah.
Baraka, if you have 3 abortions, well, as we say in Irish, build a bus for you.
I don't know what that really is, but
Yeah,
it sounds
build
funny.
a bus, big clapping, for them.
Yeah,
'Cause
last question here. What do you think of Conor McGregor? I mean, his stance on, I mean, what he's been saying so far it has has put Ireland on the map. Meaning, Ireland has been spoken about again because
yeah.
because your government do stuff to you guys we don't get to know because nobody, like, you guys are not that loud to make it go overseas and everybody gets to know. But when Conor McGregor came on the scene and talk about him running
Yeah.
the migration problem and all these things, that was covered almost everywhere in the world.
Yeah, it was massive. Yeah.
So
Well,
what do you think about that, of him going out there and want to challenge the establishment?
well, first of all, Baraka, I'm glad you said this because the video that I made last week that went viral, I spoke briefly about Conor McGregor, and I had all the trolls saying that I was on his payroll. Well, number one, for instance, right? I never met that man in his life. I never met his wife in my life. I have no personal associations with him or anybody that's connected to him. Nothing whatsoever. So that's just for the trolls. And I'm still waiting on my paycheck if I am on his payroll, number one.
Yeah.
But the way I am, Baraka, as a person, I always wait and see how the land lies. And what Conor did say was the absolute truth and nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to sit back and I just want to see if what Conor McGregor is saying is the real deal. If he is really for Éire, because we need help. We don't need anybody that's 1 foot in and 1 foot out. We need you in here solid because the country is in such a bad state of affairs. So all I can say on that matter is, Baraka, he spoke the truth and nothing but the truth when he was in the White House. Other than that, I can't say anymore. I'm just waiting and I'm going to see if it's the real deal and what he's saying. Yeah.
So
we need the truth.
yeah, last one here, because Sky News did a piece on this, and it was kind of interesting to watch it. It was they asked over 200 members of parliament in your parliament, because apparently for someone to come in the scene, they have to be nominated or they have to be voted by the people who are existing right there. And
you have to scratch your back and you scratch their back,
Yeah. So a lot of people said over 100, I think over 100 and 134 people said no, rejected that Conor McGregor has no place in the house.
Yeah.
I mean now obviously since you're not in that house, you probably have different views than most of them. What do you think the common people in Ireland think? Do you think they think Conor McGregor can do something or has a place in the house?
I think what the problem is, Baraka, is because the fact that, as I said, the Irish people are so heartbroken and are just so, I can't put it into words, Baraka, how it is. We're just so tired of it.
It's painful, right?
When they see the likes of Conor speaking like that, they're almost waiting for him to just come in and save us. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Baraka. So basically, I just think people are just, praying that some sort of somebody will come like the likes of Conor McGregor, because he has such a massive platform, that he'll come and save us. But what he did say, as I said, was the truth. But I'm just gonna wait and see. I'm just hoping and praying that it is 100% that you don't want to help the country out.
Yeah, I think a lot of people resonate with him because the passion that he has for the country is real, and I don't see that much passion when I listen to your leaders talk. They're boring to listen to. If they were to give me a speech for 10 minutes, I'll probably go to sleep. But when Conor McGregor is talking, he has this thing. His passion is ready. It's like he's going for war, and you like that because you see somebody talking like that, and you feel like he's gonna get something done.
Yeah, but also as well, Baraka, that's part of the Dublin kind of banter. I think that's why when I to be making my videos, and I kind of get the same. I just think it's like us Dubs kind of have that type of,
Yeah, like when I listen to your videos, I'm like, wow, you talk so fast and you say things with so much passion. I'm like, yo, she's gonna strangle someone. But that is good.
But that's sometimes.
You get there.
But sometimes, Baraka, you have to be like that in order to get the message out. Because if Conor McGregor was to do a speech and be just sitting there saying, "Hey guys, just could you just get out and vote for me?" Nobody's going to do it. Sometimes that passion is what stores up people's unlocked passion, because because when you've been so demoralized and being dumbed down and being told, I'll just leave it, don't say yeah. And then when you have somebody like Conor McGregor getting up at the White House and basically saying, listen, we need help. We need to sort this place out. We need to sort Ireland out. That's going to have people saying, oh my God, I can't believe he's actually saying that. I can't believe that he's saying what I'm thinking, because people are afraid, Baraka, to open their mouth because they don't want to be classed as a racist. People are literally pained by that word. But I say, push past that word. That word was created on purpose to weaponize people like ourselves into not speaking out. It was created by the Bolshevik Jews when that was going on in Russia. It's a fake word.
I think that word has lost its meaning now, because before it used to.
There's no weight in it.
There's no meaning anymore, because before people used to like be real racist, like this, like actually discriminating based on your color as well. That used to happen. But now people just use that word. It's like, oh, you didn't let me through the first queue, I have to stay in the queue, you must be racist. It's like, really, bro? And the meaning of this word has just, it means nothing now.
And the government, Baraka, have done that to the people, to the black community, the white community. They've done that. They've given this thing out to, the black community, that if they use their skin color, that's how they can get on in life. Where the black community can get on just as well as any other people by, as I said, getting back to God, getting the structure in their communities, keeping the fathers at home with their children, and that's how you build a proper society. But the governments have given this crutch to the black community that, as I said, they can use their skin colour, to get out of everything. But no, you've got to take responsibility, just like us.
Yeah.
I mean, do right, be right, and get back to God. And that's the way I look at it, Baraka. That's how you create a healthy foundation. It's all through him, Baraka.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that, because they've got all these group like BLM and all these guys. They only come out when a white person kills a black guy, but when a black guy kills another black, it's okay. It's like it means nothing now, and I think their lives have been.
They're a joke, Baraka. They're farcical.
Yeah, big joke.
BLM are nowhere to be seen about the poor Congolese people.
Nothing.
Has not got out about the Christian Nigerians who have been slaughtered and murdered for years by Boko Haram, I think they're called. I can't say.
Yeah, Boko Haram is Islamist.
How Christians in Nigeria have not been spoken about in the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah.
It's a joke. It's a joke. It's selective outrage.
Yeah, it is selective. It's always been selective. They only pick an event to go after. So let's say a white man goes out there and stab a black guy. That's it. That's the event. They're gonna make sure everybody gets the jersey, everybody gets the banner, and they're gonna take it to the street. Yeah. But if a black man goes and stab another black man, it's okay for them. It's fine for them.
They don't care.
Yeah, and they've pushed it so much that some black people believe it too, and it's sad.
Yeah, it's all lies, Baraka.
We all have same struggle. But somehow they're creating this thing. They make it seem like the blacks have more struggle. No, we don't. We all have the same struggle. We need to eat. We need to pay we need to make sure the lights are on. We need to have good family. Everybody has the same struggle. But they make it seem like, oh, poor black man, you must be really, really, living hard life. Oh, come on, then you deserve to go in the first in the queue. No, I want to race like everybody else.
And Baraka, I'm telling you now, they're perpetrating this idea now into the Irish schools about the white privilege. I can promise you, Baraka, growing up as a working class woman and just a little girl from a housing estate, we never seen any white privilege. As a matter of fact, all we seen was suicide, drug addiction, family problems, and there was no white privilege. We were just all trying to, get through life. That's all the people were trying to do, all the Irish families. That's all we were trying to do, Baraka. There was no such thing as white privilege. All there was an Irish struggle. And that's what's going on now. It's the plight of the Irish people now. Trying to survive in their own country, trying to preserve their culture and heritage and their identity, and just trying to free this land of the snakes now. It's like St. Patrick all over again. The Irish people are trying to literally rid the snakes of this country, and that is the Irish government.
Man, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Meg.
Thanks, Baraka. You're so good, and I'm so glad that you reached out to me. And I really think, I'm bursting with happiness, and I can't thank you enough for Baraka.
So then I was born in a refugee camp in Tanzania. At the time, there's so many people ran there. A lot of people were going there, real refugees, after being butchered from the civil war that erupted in Congo. My parents applied for asylum to all the countries. They waited. Now, then I was born in that camp, the same camp. I'm talking tents. I was born there. Now, we're waiting for 14 years. We were waiting. Now, of course, these guys could choose to wait as well, but these guys hijacked that and they come in the country illegally. Now, the media will brand you guys racist, far right, the worst people here, the worst group here. How come the good group didn't invite me to go speak over there? So I call this the greatest awakening because all the way from over there, there's hundreds of people turning up. It's a Saturday, for God's sake. They could easily go around and watch football and have fun, go on a date, do all the lovely stuff they could do. But instead, they want to stand here, rain or not. They're ready to send a message. And I believe the message will be received today. Thank you so much.
For anybody in the back who struggled to hear this young man's story, one incredible, brave young man.
Oh yes, I agree.
British Christian values.